Hello, welcome to another crypto chart. I'm Fausto Botelho, broadcasting from Brazil. And let's take a look in the S&P and in the altcoins that we're keeping an eye on. Shall we? Beginning with the S&P, where we see that whenever it gets near the all-time high, it shows weakness. Bulls shows weakness. And so it happened today. This is a bearish candle. So right after the Federal Reserve Bank lowered its interest rate, the market is not able to produce new highs. Don't you think there's something wrong? Well, what I think it's wrong, I've said many times here on the channel, is that we are today 92, let me show you here. We're 92% above the top that preceded the subprime crisis. Just take a look. Here we go. Here's the top. Yeah, it's not gonna show 92. It's gonna show only 56% almost. But that's because I've taken inflation out of this chart. This is indexed by the CPI. But if I take CPI out, if I draw a nominal chart, then you're going to see that we have central banks now have a 92% higher problem, bigger problem than they had in the subprime. So that's what I think is wrong. It's very hard for the market to break these all-time high and rally up. Central banks are doing their best, but I think that's not enough. As we've seen, they're trying hard. Lowered another time interest rate. US wants to go to negative interest rates like Europe, like many other countries are doing. So that it's narrowing very much their maneuvering margin. So I keep expecting it never happens. No, it will happen. But I am still expecting this market to reverse. As I said many times here in the channel, I think it has already reversed, but it is really hard for you to keep short, keep bearish whenever the market is in its all-time high and keeps going up. But it is, as I said, showing many indications that the bulls are exhausted. So I'm expecting for the S&P to come down at any time, and that might hurt. So again, I'm expecting wild emotions for next week. Let's see if this time it happens. So now let's take a look at the S&P. Sorry, not the S&P, the Bitcoin. So this is the weekly chart of Bitcoin. Nothing changed so far. We're still even more now in a symmetrical triangle. And the drop and subsequent rally that we had today, as we can see in the hourly chart here, dump and pump, I think it's very positive. I think Bitcoin needed maybe a capitulation to then gain strength to break the, let's go back to the daily chart here, break the resistance trend line of the symmetrical triangle. So I think Bitcoin is ready to the moon. Yeah. So now the coins that we're keeping an eye on, here they are, starting with Augur. Algor has broken this resistance trend line and is accumulating in what I think is going to be a continuation pattern. So I'm expecting it to come to this resistance level here. From where it is today, it would mean some 63% upward movement. Yoda, well, it just broke a resistance here, and I think it's probably going to the least test this resistance long-term trend line. So that would mean a upward movement from today of some 30%. Maybe if it gives us a flag, an upward flag here, we could eventually add it to our portfolio, right? BAT, Basic Attention Token, the token that deals with all the media in internet. Well, it gave us a bear trap, broke this resistance trend line, but I would expect, well, we can't buy it now very close to this resistance level, right? In technical analysis, there's the things that you should do and there's the things that you can't do. And one of the most important things you can't do is buy in resistance levels. You have to wait for the market to break the resistance level and then buy. Maybe you'll have to wait for a pullback to this former resistance line that then will be offering support. And eventually you're going to have to wait for it to produce a pivot, which is when the market breaks a resistance line, comes down as in a pullback, and then goes up again and breaks the top that it made. Then that swing situation is called a pivot. So you're gonna be more certain if you wait for the pivot. Well, that's why I'm waiting for BAT to break this resistance level here. Maybe it will be kind enough to give us an upward trend as well. Next one is Bitcoin Cash. Well, Bitcoin Cash is testing a very important resistance level. If it breaks, I think it will be giving us a important indication, as it has already broken this short-term resistance trend line. But if it doesn't, then we'll be considering this as a continuation pattern. So about to tell us what is it up to. That's why we're keeping an eye on it. Binance. Well, it's important for us to notice that Binance is working in this side of this river here, this upward trend channel. And this level is very important as a support level. It broke this level and then it went up again, so it produced somehow a bear trap. So that's why I'm bullish on Binance. But if we go to the hourly chart here, it didn't treat too well the people that bought in here, as we did. We bought it right over here, and so far we've been stopped. Let's take a look. Let me show you here last liquidations. I think it was this one here. No, but it doesn't show. Let me show you our method, the history of our calls. And if I call BNB here and search liquidation, and here's the blade as we call it, we made 3.27% in Binance. We moved our left stop to 0.002148, 0.002148. Back to Binance here, 0.002148, around here. So we've been stopped so far, but I'm still bullish on Binance because of that bear trap that it produced us, and let's keep watching, and maybe whenever this resistance trend line is broken, we might add it to our portfolio again. Next one is Engine, that broke a very interesting resistance trend line, many points on it, considerable. And there's this possibility for a huge pull back to this line here. So everything is fitting. It gave us a reversal, engulfing reversal pattern. And now we're waiting to see if it's going to break this resistance trend line here. If it does, I think we will be calling this accumulation, sort of accumulation here, as an inverted head and shoulders. But you know, this right shoulder could keep on a little while. Ethereum, well, Ethereum didn't give a chance to anybody. Just started to go up, and till today it never stopped for a little flag in order for us to enter the market. So I'm still waiting for it to flag up. Maybe it will do it over here. If we go to the hourly chart, yeah, maybe eventually, if it comes back to this point here, it might leave a decent support for us to protect our stop in a possible long position. So waiting. EOS token. Well, is it giving us a bear trap? Apparently it was, but a reversal today didn't make things very promising. Let's wait. Maybe it's going to evolve to a flag, an upward flag. And then, yes, then if it goes to a flag, whenever it breaks the flag, and we'll keep following it in the hourly chart. Well, don't get confused thinking that there's no liquidity in EOS token. Yes, there is, but it's quoted at a very low number of satoshis, only 69 satoshis. It is valued today. So that's why we see these ugly intraday chart. Let's see if we go to the 15 minutes. Oh well, it's still ugly. So waiting to see. And Matic, well, it was launched by Binance. Binance must have made its homework. It corrected, and it's sideways now. I think if it breaks the sideways upwards, I think it's going to be a good indication, and it's worth a bet. Ripple, well, Ripple, it has a weight apparently, but it didn't give any chance to anybody as it went up, and stops would have to be placed too far away, 13%. So I'm again expecting for a chance, a upward flag maybe, or an accumulation here to enter whenever the market confirms the upward trend. And finally, Tron, that produced a bear trap and broke this resistance trend line. I think it might go to the other resistance trend line, which would mean approximately 50% upward movement. Not bad, right? Of course, if it gets there, we wait and see. If it flags up and breaks, we just move the stop below the flag and keep on the trend. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe the channel if you haven't yet, and give us a thumbs up too. If you live in Brazil, I'm going to be doing a course, this intensive course, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Don't miss it. There's indications here in the description of the video. And I'll see you next time. Ciao!